It'll be 1 to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Go ahead, behind Randy.
Jimmy, Mike Ackelson from WFMJ TV. Got two-part question for you. One, how is your team running heading into the chase? And with just a few races left, do you gamble to pick up some precious bonus points if you can go for the win?
We don't gamble all that often. If we're a lock, I think things change at that point. When and if we lock in. Until then, you know, we want top fives. We want the momentum of running up front and more seat time, more pit stops, that whole energy and pressure that comes with racing for wins. We want to be in that every day. I feel that we've made a lot of ground from the start of the season until now. I think we're where we need to be. I still feel we can be a little bit better, and hopefully over these next few weeks we can really polish up what we have and be a little bit more consistent with the top threes. Worst day being a top five, and of late I think we've only been in the top three here the last three races, but we didn't. We finished seventh at Watkins Glen, but if we can do that and find that rhythm and just sit there in those top threes, top fives, opportunities to win will be there. We'll collect points, and everything will take care of itself.
Travis.
Jimmy, Travis Brown, USA Today. I wondered, how important is this race, do you think, from a manufacturer's standpoint, being GM, Dodge, Ford's backyard? What do you think the effect is, and what effect would it have if Toyota came here and won their first race?
It is, every race pays the same amount of points. So in one respect, you look at it and it's just another race. But whenever I go back to California or I'm in Lowe's Motor Speedway, there's a different mindset that it's our home track. And I completely understand how the manufacturers that are based here come to this track and want to win on their home court. And I can only imagine how bad that 20 car with the depot signage on the side of it wants to win at Lowe's. So I can also understand how bad the other manufacturer would want to come in and beat the U.S.-based companies here. So I kind of see it and understand it. It doesn't change how we race. It doesn't change what we do. But Monday morning when everybody's at their board meetings and catching up in the business world, there's some good bragging rights that go with it all. And we want to make sure Chevrolet wins again. Junior's win was the first in a while, and we want to try to do that again.
Go ahead, Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Johnson, how familiar are you with the term hypermiling?
That would be the first time I've heard of it. What is hypermiling? Can you spell that, please?
No. It's some way to save gas, and some people are doing it on the highways now. It's just like fuel conservation techniques on the highway. And it seems like anytime we come here, you guys kind of have to use them. If you are told by Chad that you have to save gas, what's the progression that you go through in order to do that?
You try to let off a little earlier and not use as much brake on corner entry, just to maintain that speed the car can handle on corner entry to the center. And then when you get to the center of the corner, you try to roll back into the gas slowly. Obviously, the slower you roll back into the gas, the slower you are up on the straightaway, but you find a rhythm and a lap time that you can produce. And then on the pit box, Chad and the engineers are calculating that lap time versus how much they think it's saving fuel. And through a series of smoke and mirrors, you come up with what you think is your window. There's no guarantees. If the car's tighter, it's going to affect it. The car's looser, it's going to affect it. So it's really a guessing game, and it's tough to get it right. And sometimes it surprises me how close they can really calculate how you're going, or where you're going to run out. But it's tough to really save fuel. In most cases, you get the deal on the radio where you go back to green and you're running like crazy, and then hey, you need to save fuel. You're thinking, it would have been nice to know that 20 laps ago or 10 laps ago, and now what are you going to do? So it's really a tough thing to save fuel in a race car.
Go ahead, Bob, and then David will have the last question for Jimmy.
Hi, Bob Trippi for the Associated Press. Once you lock in a spot for the chase and everything, how much experimenting can you do with your car without really losing any momentum going into the chase?
It depends on where you're at in 05. We got real aggressive with some things and almost talked ourselves into it because we felt like we were close. and it didn't work out for us. The last 2 seasons, we've focused more on refining the equipment we've kind of developed to that point, and mentally being ready and treating those last few races like they were in the chase, the pit stop mentality, how you drive on track, and you're just trying to find the right rhythm through the week from qualifying practice through qualifying onto the race and everything that goes on in that period of time. But a lot of it depends on where you're at. If you're hanging on to be in the top 12 right now, you know, you can look at it a couple ways and choices that you need to make. If you're in Kyle's position, you can look at it a couple different ways. You know, either it's pretty good, don't mess it up, or, you know, guys are catching us, let's get aggressive. So it's really tough to give you a general comment. It's more about the individual team and where they're at.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, Jimmy, since they left Michigan last time, seems like your team's really got on a roll. Junior seems to have slid back just a little bit. Have you noticed anything different with that crew?
No, not anything different. I could say that at the start of the season, Tony Jr. had a real good feel of what the setups needed at that point. And as time has gone on, the sport keeps changing, everything's moving and shaking, and we didn't have it, and now we slowly picked it up. Those guys had it early and are trying to, you know, round through the bottom and get that going again. Sounds odd when all the teams are in the same shop and how that technology just doesn't apply from one car to the other, but driving styles, crew chief styles, it all plays a part of it. You know, those guys won't be down long. They have all the tools necessary. I've been extremely impressed with Tony's and Dale Jr.'s commitment to the team, the feel that Junior's had in the car, and I didn't know what kind of teammate he'd be like, and he has blown my expectations off, or the roof off the expectations, because he's really has a good feel for the car, and you go up and down, you go through slumps, and stuff happens, but those guys will be just fine.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Yep.
Stand by for Greg Biffle.